What is up everybody? In this video we are taking our first look at these, the Nike Zoom Fly 4. Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to 40 Runs. How are we doing, people? Let me know in the comments, and while you're down there, did you have version 3? Maybe you had version 2 or 1 or whatever. Now, what is the Zoom Fly? Now, the Zoom Fly is the shoe, the training and competition shoe that is meant to sit beneath the sort of vapor flies of this world. Now, we had the Tempo Next Percent, if you remember, which was a carbon plated shoe with the AirPod in. Now, this shoe this shoe sort of just went away when that shoe came out with the Tempo Next Percent. Now, the Tempo Next Percent was very popular for some people. I couldn't stand it, but that's just me and the way I am. That had a slab of Zoom X in it. Now, this shoe has got React foam in it. It does have a carbon plate, and I think that's where the similarities probably end. So we're going to talk about the Zoom Fly 4 today, what it's like and all this sort of stuff. We're going to compare it to the first version, and we're going to talk about how I've got on with it over just these first 2 runs. Now, this is a first impressions. Usually I do 3 runs in the shoes before we do a first impressions video, but I wanted to get it out there today because you guys were asking me on Instagram and on the community page on YouTube, so thank you very much. So we've done 11 miles in the shoe at various paces, and I've also done a 3-mile run in them straight out of the box yesterday. So where do we start? Let's do the stats and features first, although there's not many of them. Okay, so on the Nike website at the moment, there's not that much help in terms of what's in the shoe. All it says is Nike Zoom Fly 4, and I'm reading this off of here, 145 quid, which from memory is about £5 more expensive than Zoom Fly 3, let me know. We've got, in terms of product details, now it says nothing about the drop. This shoe was an 8mm drop, so I'm guessing it's the same sort of deal. We've got a snug fit, we've got a new lacing system, I'll come on to that. The upper is made from lightweight mesh for a softer, more breathable feel. We've got an internal heel pod, delivers a secure fit more than the Zoom Fly 3. We've got the React technology, and that is really about it. There's not much on there. So let me know in the comments if you've had this shoe and you know a little bit more about it in terms of what it's got and what it's not got. But I think the important things with this shoe are, 1, what's the quality like? 2, how heavy is it? And 3, how responsive is it? Because that was some of the problems with this shoe. So let's get on to, let's do the weight, and then we'll come on to how it feels and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so this training and competition shoe, like I said, sits under the Vaporfly, and I'm now going to get Mrs. Fordy scales on and we're going to weigh it up. And it's a funny shoe, this one. We'll come on to it in a minute. Weight, 298 grams. So this is a UK 9.5, and it fits true to size. And that is in ounces. Where is it? Hang on, hold tight. That's 10.5 ounces. So, it is rather heavy. Now, the old version, same size, 10.2. So it's the same weight. So the problems that this shoe had in terms of weight remain. It is even heavy in hand, this shoe. This feels a bit lighter, but it is heavy. If you now compare this to the Speed, stay there. Sorry, this is the Speed 2. 8.5 ounces. So it's 2 ounces heavier. Now, this has got a carbon plate in it, and the Speed's got a TPU plate on it. And we're going to do a comparison video, so watch out for next week because we're going to do a versus video. But this has got a carbon plate in it. So in terms of rigidity and all that kind of stuff, it's relatively stiff and more sort of stiff than the Endorphin Speed 2. But 10.5 ounces for what is technically a training and competition shoe is just, well, I think it's just wrong. So let me know in the comments, do you think that's heavy? Now, maybe I'm wrong to be barking on about weight. let me know. But as soon as you get into, I think, training and competition shoes, they should aim to be lighter, and they should aim to, you know, help you along in terms of the weight. And I think they really missed the trick by not stripping down the weight in this shoe. But let's talk about how it feels and all that kind of stuff. Firstly, I think that let's talk about the biggest improvement on the shoe, which is the upper. They've gone with this mesh upper, which, let me know, by the way, in the comments, what do you think? And, oh, sorry, apologies, I've not had time to clean these, right? I was out today, you saw in the video, I was out to do, today doing the 11 miles, and I've not had time. But let me know, what do you think about the looks of it? I'm not that overly keen on it. I think this looks a bit rubbish. And I don't like the smaller swoosh on it. I prefer a massive swoosh, but that's just me. But let me know, how do you think it looks? But yeah, the biggest change, sorry, is the upper, and that's this had the vapor weave upper on it that was arguably terrible, and it put a lot of people off, and it just wasn't great. It had a one-piece like booty system, but the whole vapor weave upper on it was just a big miss on this shoe. And I have to say, I think the improvements they've made on the upper on this, it is a great step forward. It really is an improvement. It's like a 2-layer. So you've got like the boot still remains in there. It's not going to come out in the camera, but you've still got the one-piece boot, but then you've got this layer going over the top, this mesh going over the top, and it's kind of cool. It is breathable. It was relatively warm today, and it was breathable, but it was warmer yesterday, and it was definitely breathable on there. It's got a nice pull tab on the back. You've got this foam going around the heel area. Now, the problem I found with that is that in terms of the fit, if you look, I did a bit of video, I put the B-roll up, it sort of just sticks out, and it's a bit off-putting. It doesn't fit. I don't know, it just doesn't look like it's fitting very well around my feet. That's just me. In terms of the build quality, it's better than some of the Nikes I've seen recently, but it's still like, you know, loads of bits of glue there, and around the front's not great, but it is better than some of the Nikes I've seen of late. The React foam, and this is full length React foam in this shoe with the carbon plate going through it, it just feels a little bit softer than this shoe. Maybe, I don't know, imagining things, but it definitely does feel a little bit softer in this version than that shoe. And the outsole remains pretty much the same. If you look at them, it's almost identical. And in fact, the bottom parts of the shoe, I think, is identical. It looks exactly the same. I don't know, I just can't work out where all this weight is coming from. It just must mean that the React foam must be like proper heavy. And I say, it feels heavy in the hand. But I have to say, what's the best way to describe it? It's actually surprised me, because today and yesterday I really enjoyed running in these. Really enjoyed it. They were a lot of fun. Maybe because, look, so if you're new to the channel, I'm tapering, right? So today's 11 miles was elements of goal pace, elements of easy. I've done a bit of a sprint finish at Park Run. Yesterday I did a mile at threshold pace. Now, lactate threshold pace for me is between 4 and 4:30 per kilometre, and I did a mile of that, and then I backed out of it and then went back to goal pace. So I've been playing around my paces today. I was running on bits of tarmac, a little bit of uneven ground, and I didn't have any stability issues with it. And it was a lot of fun. And if you ask Tobe, he was telling me to slow down the whole time today. And I put that down to the shoe. It was a lot of fun to run in. And I didn't notice the weight so much in the shoe. So despite me being quite negative about the weight and everything about the shoe, I actually really enjoyed running in it today. I think the problem is that the minute you take it over that sort of 11 miles and you go into, you know, that training and competition area. So if you go 13 miles or you go up to 26.2 miles or whatever you're doing, I think the weight will start to suck a little bit of life out of your legs. But for what I've done in it so far, I've been pleasantly surprised. It's more stable than I remember. And it's a firmer ride than the Saucony. So I'm going to do a comparison of the two, and I don't want to get ahead of myself because I want to chew it over a little bit. And I'm going to go back out in these again tomorrow. But I just think it surprised me, actually, today. I had a lot of fun in these, and I had a lot of fun in them yesterday where I went quick out the gates. And I think if you were a fan of this version, because there were fans of this, now I said at the start, this didn't hit the mark, but there are still people who really like that shoe. And I think if you like that shoe, you're going to really love that. And if you didn't necessarily feel much love from this, you may want to try this out, because it definitely does feel a bit softer and a little bit more responsive than that shoe. So yeah, my first impressions are that despite it being heavy, despite it being, you know, not the best looking shoe in the world, it's actually taken me by surprise. And I would recommend it if you're looking at that training competition, although this does have a huge problem, as most of the shoes do in this area, and that is the Saucony Endorphin Speed 2. So watch out for my comparison video of that, and then watch out when we put more miles in these and we come back and we do a performance review. But yeah, there you go. So the Zoom Fly 4 has been a bit of a surprise these 2 days.